All right. So it's time for a little video here, and I feel that we should talk about the elephant in the room. And I can't help to notice how it's becoming more and more evident how many of these supposed people within independent media, it could be podcasters, it could be talk show hosts, it could be comedians, it could be any number of people who have effectively taken the role of the mainstream media, and to some extent or another are serving at the behest of the establishment in power or intelligence, and it doesn't have to necessarily be specifically like a mainstream media person, but it could be varying degrees of being connected somehow or another to the establishment. But needless to say, they will perpetuate the establishment's narratives at different levels. They will give critique, and they will provide truthful information to a certain extent. And when it comes to the crunch, when push really comes to shove, then they immediately revert back to their source of income, let's say. They revert back to supporting the establishment that is in power, who they are in many regards shilling for. This was very clear with Tim Dillon, who has been very critical of Jeffrey Epstein and pointing out very many obvious things, of course, like everybody else does. But from one day to another, after talking to JD Vance, the vice president, he flips like on a flip of a switch, and he just starts shilling in protecting Trump for the fallout of his Epstein connections, which are plentiful, and we don't know to what extent he's in the files, but obviously he is in the files to some extent, and so are other people within his administration. And this is not something that is just in regard to Republicans. This is something that is also very much a problem for the Democrats and for famous people and for people within Hollywood and whatnot. So it's not just left or right, it's the power structure of the West that are thoroughly manipulated by these types of blackmail operations. And I would actually say you won't be able to get in power within Western power structure. It could be in Denmark, it could be in UK, it could be in the US, unless you're compromised in some way or another. And this is why for example, it's so hard to get truth out, and why they're implementing authoritarian technocracy and everybody's going along with it. Nobody's talking about the global social engineering experiment, for example, despite how it's being used by the Trump administration to divert attention away from his Jeffrey Epstein fallout. I mean, literally being used by the President of the United States multiple times over the last weeks, and why they are seemingly not able to stop the genocidal Israeli state from committing an ongoing genocide against the unarmed Palestinian people. Why this is happening for so long without the international community doing anything about it? It is because of this blatant and authoritarian corruption, where the people in power are compromised and blackmailed to one degree or another, and some people more than others. Have a look at who has been president in the United States for the last many years. All of these people have been compromised. Biden was sniffing people's children's hair and having all kinds of strange relationship with his daughter or niece, I can't remember. Trump has all kinds of connections to Epstein and has also some shady relationship with Ivanka when she was younger. And then you have Barack Obama, also fucking sketchy as fuck, in a different kind of way. And then you have I don't know, a Bush, I don't know about him, but I'm sure there's something to be found there. Then we have Bill Clinton, of course, highly compromised by the Epstein network as well, which we know. These are just presidents of the presidents who are thoroughly corrupted and compromised. And that's why I say you can't really get into power unless you are corrupted in some kind of way or another. Obviously, I have been speaking speaking out about this. Let me get my tongue right. And they have been coming after me hard for doing so, despite I don't even have a real, at least that I can see, a following on Twitter or social media in general. But of course, because my content gets repeated, what I say and what I do sometimes to some extent gets repeated, because I'm supposedly I'm the subject of the global social engineering experiment, and that's why sometimes I get repeated or whatever, and in this regard, that's why they're coming after me in such ferocious ways. I'm not allowed to earn any money through my small business at all this month. The same problem in May. I'm not allowed to have interactions with other people. I'm being subjected to sleep deprivation all the time. I'm being attacked with directed energy weapons attacks all the time, causing me all kinds of gut problems. They are highlighting these gut problems that they are causing me and using it in their propaganda to discredit me, and they are really going out of their way, in fact, to discredit me, talking about my non-existing sex life as if I could be compromised by it, which I don't have anything to hide. I have told people what I'm like and what I don't like, and come to terms with those things a few years ago, or a long time ago now. I don't know how long it was. I made a video a year and a half ago or something like that. So it is all very obvious how these campaigns that are being waged against me are trying to get me to shut up, as well as to frighten other people from speaking out. And in this regard, they are using many people that I actually regard quite highly as it relates to good information on certain subjects like the war in Ukraine, or the 12-day war, or whatever it may be. But when it comes to the authoritarian technocracy, the use of emerging neurosciences and directed energy weapons, and of course the global social engineering experiment and the public persecution of me, Stephen Bell, these people will immediately, as soon as they are called upon, they will start perpetuating intelligence, psychological operations and propaganda narratives, and obviously try to discredit me as with the very same narratives used by the establishment and the intelligence agencies that run the global social engineering experiment, funny enough.